welcome to another Chelsea chat. Before I start, if I just say, if you haven't subscribed yet, if you could subscribe, that would be brilliant. Um, but if not, thanks for watching this anyway. And you can help me. You can help me answer this question. I'm neither Potter in nor out. I believe, having spoken to someone at the club and from a lot of reports coming out to creditable sources like The Athletic, Ben Ornstein, Liam Tooney, that Potter is going to get till the end of the season regardless. So all this social media stuff about him going, these people can be as negative as much as they want, but they're stuck with him until at least the end of the season. And I think quite rightly, I say I'm neither Potter in nor out, but I think the level of abuse that he's got, taking over a club with a horrendous injury list, having that injury list added to, taking over a club with new players in the summer, without any pre-season, I think there's a lot of difficulties that aren't taken into consideration by some of these people. And when people say, oh, he's never managed a big club, well, if Klopp hadn't been given Dortmund, if Tuchel hadn't been given Dortmund, how would we have known about them? How would they have got the managerial skills? Oh, yeah, but we're a top club. We can't afford to have someone learning on the job. Why? Why? What top manager haven't we been through that could go in and put players together like last night against Fulham? Oh, it was Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, by the way, for the reviewers. The guy who played in midfield, very good player, looked the mutt's nuts, got off a plane on Thursday morning. Played on Friday night. Doesn't speak English. Stayed in a hotel. They got to sort his house out. How do you manage that? I mean, he is quality, Fernandes. He looks quality, and I think he's going to be a great signing. But how do you manage these young men who have just arrived? How do you put them out to beat a competent, a well-organised team like Fulham? I don't know. I don't know who else would have come in and done that. Even Mourinho, even Conte. And we saw how Tuchel was struggling. I don't know. I don't think there is anyone. So I think just stick with him. See how we go. Our problems are glaring. We don't move the ball quick enough. We don't play it forward enough, quickly enough. And we can't finish. So that's our problems. We've shored it up at the back. Badiashile looks the bee's knees next to Silva. And a great save from Kepa last night. So here's my question, by the way. I knew I'd finally get to it. Bearing in mind, I'm neither Potter in nor out. Answer me this, someone. Badiashile, how is he not one of the three in the Champions League squad? How? Because he would have been my first. I mean, we all think we know about football, don't we? We all think we do. I probably don't. Not at that level. There's probably a reason. But we're all entitled to an opinion. Let's have your opinions. Why is Badiashile not the first name on that Champions League squad sheet? He's playing well. He's playing next to Silva. They look a right tight unit. And I've always thought winning football matches, the first thing you do is make sure you don't concede. After that, everything else is a bonus. But if you don't concede, you're not going to lose the game. And I can't see why he's not. Any ideas? It's not because he doesn't qualify, because he does. There was a rule change. Remember, for years and years and years, and quite rightly, if you played for one Champions League club in the group stages, you couldn't play for someone else if you were transferred. Sensible rule. Now, you can play up to 3 players, even if they have been knocked out the group stage. So our 3 players are Mudryk, Fernandes and João Felix. Now, João Felix, good player though he looks, is on loan only till the end of the season. There's no guarantee that we'll get him. So my three players would have been Fernandes, Badiashile and Mudryk. But no Badiashile. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. I've been stunned, and I say I'm not anti-Potter. You know I'm not. I think it's a shame the stick that the bloke's getting just for doing his best. We'll see by the end of the season if his best was good enough or not. But there's loads of things that's got to be taken into consideration. But yeah, let me know why you think Badiashile has been left out. So we got Koulibaly coming back in, or Fofana, who's been injured since God was a lad. Anyway, enough of me picking your brains. Last night it was Chelsea 0, Fulham 0. I've already gone over why I think we're struggling, don't move the ball quickly enough. Hopefully, when these guys have had a couple of weeks training together, I like the fact that Fernandes is learning English as well. When these guys have had a couple of weeks getting to know each other, that'll be remedied. People call him for Jorginho, but the Jorginho that played when we were struggling before this break, that Jorginho. The Jorginho, although a great footballer, and I have always said he's a great footballer, slowed us down incredibly, which was good when you needed the game tightened up and slowed down. But it's not good when you're 0-0 with 5 minutes to go, and he's playing it back to the goalkeeper. Jorginho was out of contract at the end of the season. 12 million quid for a 31-year-old. Rattle your heads, guys and girls. Rattle your heads. You know, I say it's all subjective, but we were struggling with Jorginho playing. After last night, people want him back in. Oh, indecisive Dave's mates.
You know, when I say he's got to be in, I mean he's got to be out.
So last night we had Kepa in goal. I'm just going to score him as I go along. Kepa's going to get an 8 because I thought that save he brought off. I only seen it at the last minute as people stand in front of him. Got down to his right. Brilliant save. I've always said he's a little bit stronger on his right than his left. But that was a great save. Didn't do anything else wrong. Distribution good. Nice to see Reece James back. Looks unfit. Looks not match fit, I should say. Not unfit. And he played accordingly. He gets a 6, way below what he's going to be in a few matches' time, and it's understandable. Thiago Silva last night, superb again. He gets an 8. Badiashile next to him, faultless, gets a 7.5 from me. I thought he had a really. He played one bad ball. That's why he got 7.5. I'm doing this without my notes, but that's why one bad ball. Left back, Cucurella. Cucurella gets a 2. Those of you who watch my videos knows he gets a 2 because he turned up, allegedly, and he had a kit on. Managed to tie his shoelaces, and I think that's all he's capable of. I'm sorry. I'm so underwhelmed by Cucurella. Why he was out there last night when you've got Lewis Hall, if Lewis Hall was fit, and you got Ben Chilwell. Do you know what? I would have Ben Chilwell with his feet tied together rather than Cucurella. I remember a few years ago I actually got in trouble. The referee told me I couldn't do it, but I put the team sheet. We had a guy that he ran around like a mad thing. He ran around like an absolute demon, but he couldn't pass the ball to. I don't know if he was colourblind. He couldn't pass the ball to his own player. And he would give the ball away. He was just rubbish. Well, one day lovely guy though. One day we only had 11 players. I think there was people either away on holiday or whatever. And so I named 10 people and I still put him sub. And the referee said I couldn't, and it was an absolute nightmare. But watching that bloke run around like a headless chicken reminds me of Cucurella. Absolutely garbage. I'm sorry. I know it's not very technical, but there was nothing that he did last night that I could be positive about. He can't defend. He's offensively. He's negative. Out of position. Can't head a ball. just... If he was a painter, he'd turn up without a brush, I'm sure. I'm sure he would. Or paint. In midfield, Fernandes, my man of the match on his first game, 8.5. I thought he looked assured. He was trying to be positive. Probably thought, what the have I come into? Looks a cracking player and really bossed the midfield, which, I mean, to be fair, Mount and Gallagher done their donkey work. They gave him some time, but he looked the bee's knees. So he gets an 8.5. Gallagher gets an 8. The boy put so much effort into that game. He run his socks off. Good shot. Unlucky not to score. Always looking to play the ball forward. Great defensive game, and he gets an 8 from me. Really for sheer effort. Mason Mount gets a 6.5. Done some good things. Still makes some bad decisions. There was one where I think it was... who would have been away? Probably Ziyech. But Mount chose to try and thread it through. And another time where he done a crossfield ball, easily cut out. It's a shame because he done a lot of good stuff in that game. Again, unlucky not to score, and a lot of positive, but two really stupid decisions sort of overshadowed his game, and obviously it gives the Mason Mount haters a little bit more fuel. But yeah, 6.5. So much, you can be so much better. In front of them, we had Ziyech, who I thought was lousy last night. I expected him to stink the place out after the PSG fiasco, and I wasn't wrong. Way off of it last night, way off of it. And that's how I expect him to be for the rest of the season, if I'm honest. I think Potter, from a man management point of view, I think that's why he played him last night. Mudryk last night, disappointing, but again, you can't have a decent game as a winger if you're not getting the ball. But he gets a 6 last night. I thought he was underwhelming, and again, he doesn't look match fit. It's going to take these boys time to get in their stride. It is. I don't care what anyone says. You can't just fly someone in and expect them to be marvellous, although Fernandes weren't far off. And up front, Havertz gets a 4. We'd have a different view of that game if the ball goes in instead of hitting the post. But that would have been, for me, virtually all he did during the 90 minutes. Got to have a real conversation at the end of the season about Havertz. Because when Fofana came on, David Fofana, he looked sprightly, he looked strong. I thought, why were you not starting? Why are you not starting? So again, Potter is trying to be a man manager, but sometimes you just got to stick these kids in and say, let's see what you can do. I was all for Brozier playing at number 9, wasn't I? And now I'm definitely in the give Fofana a run camp. Not going to score the players when they came on, but Maduke looked the bee's knees, didn't he? I was very impressed with him, and Fofana, you know my thoughts on him anyway. I think he's going to be a real good player. He's not going to be the next Didier Drogba. He's going to be the first David Fofana. You heard it here first. Potter last night gets a 6. I can see why he made some of the decisions. That Cucurella brought him off after 10 minutes. I think Jose Mourinho would have done. I think Conte would have done. I think Tuchel would have done. Ziyech would have been gone a lot earlier. But Potter can only prepare them. He can't actually make them play that ball faster. You can practice in training, but that's going to be something that hopefully comes. These players have got a lot more energy. I hope the players around them don't bring them down rather than them taking the standards of the players around them up. A disappointing result. Reasonable performance against a well-organised side. I don't think people have looked at some of the results Fulham have had this season. And very organised. He's doing a good job there, Marco Silva, as opposed to the job he done at Watford, which was awful. he's got them really, really up for it and really playing well. So I'm going to take the positives out of it. The new players look pretty decent, even though they've not really had time to get their feet under the table, are they? They're not going to know the players around them. So that's me. That's all I'm going to say. I've gone through everything I can possibly think on. I've gone over Potter. But yeah, Badia Shield, let me know what you think. Should he be in the Champions League squad? Don't matter what we think, because he's not. But if you can tell me why, I'd appreciate it. Okay, please subscribe to the channel. Please give me your feedback, because that's the reason I do these, to get us all talking. And I'll see you after the West Ham game. Thanks for watching. Look forward to hearing your comments. Up to Chelsea.